It all begins at the Philippine Hero Air Base. A young soldier named Kenny looks indecisive, choosing between two different drink boxes. Just then, his superior, Sugar, walks up and reminds him that in 2 minutes they'll be boarding a helicopter for a special mission called JT Ace. Kenny flies out with Sugar and 2 other team members, Bishop and Cooper. Their objective? Rescue a CIA agent captured by Russian arms dealers led by a guy named Petrov. The agent knows too much, info that could expose who's been dealing with Petrov. They can't risk that information getting out. Kenny is the newest member of the team, assigned as communications officer. His role is to stay connected with their base in the US, where a captain named Eddie is monitoring the mission via satellite drones. Eddie, a seasoned but grounded pilot, is now mostly stationed indoors after failing a critical flight test in the past. Despite his rank not going up, his skills are top-notch. He works alongside his colleague Nia from the operations room. Today's a bit unusual though. Eddie's wife is in the hospital about to give birth. So before the mission begins, he asks Colonel Bagong to take over the landline in case she calls. Into the field. As they reach the island, Sugar, Kenny, Bishop, and Cooper jump out of the helicopter and land near the shore. Eddie and Nia guide them via satellite. They need to reach the enemy's base, 8 kilometers from their current position.
8 hours of playtime ahead.
Roger, standing by.
Over.
Along the way, Bishop, the veteran of the squad, tells Kenny that on the battlefield, all the tech in the world might fail you. Sometimes all you have is your instincts, either to survive or fall.
What happened? I don't know.
3 kilometers in, Kenny spots something moving in the trees. He starts sweating and asks Eddie to scan the area. But as Eddie moves the drone, the camera suddenly goes down. He lets Kenny know the drone's heading back for repairs. Tensions rise. Bishop and Sugar are ready to engage, but as they're about to fire, the movement turns out to be just a wild pig. Crisis averted for now. At Petrov's base. Eventually they arrive at Petrov's heavily guarded compound near a dam. The team splits up. Bishop, Sugar, and Cooper move to higher ground to scout. While Kenny hides near a basement door. Inside the compound, they spot Petrov with his wife and son. Just as Bishop prepares to take the shot, 2 pickup trucks arrive carrying heavily armed local militants. The Abu Sayyaf group, led by a man named Saeed Hashimi.
Head of Abu Sayyaf.
Suddenly, Hashimi turns on Petrov and takes over the compound. Even going as far as to take down Petrov's wife in a brutal moment. As Hashimi prepares to harm Petrov's child, Kenny quickly asks Eddie to fire a missile to create a diversion. The missile takes 20 seconds to arrive. Bishop, growing impatient, fires at Hashimi's leg, followed by the missile impact. The child escapes, but now the team's cover is blown. Terrorists swarm the area.
Sights on target.
Kenny, positioned above a cave entrance, watches 3 terrorists appear below. Luckily, before he's spotted, Bishop, Sugar, and Cooper neutralize them just in time. Kenny throws a grenade, but he misjudges the throw, causing the cave entrance to explode and partially collapse. Ambushed. In the chaos, Cooper is severely wounded. Kenny tries to help, but Sugar says it's too late. Cooper's gone.
Listen to me. Focus, Sergeant. Get yourself together.
Need a bomb down there now!
From afar, terrorists fire RPGs at them. Kenny calls in Eddie to target the RPG attackers. But again, the missiles need time. The attackers get a shot off, hitting Bishop and Sugar's location. Another shooter targets Kenny with a high-powered rifle.
Smoke.
He manages to escape and hide behind a tree. Trying to reach Bishop and Sugar via radio, Kenny gets no response. They're presumed lost. Now alone, Kenny starts panicking. Eddie calmly guides him to a pickup point to the east.
Scanning forward 500 meters. Stand by.
Area looks clear. Good to move.
Along the way, enemy troops with dogs nearly discover him. He hides inside a lizard's nest. And luckily, the enemies move on. As he continues through the jungle, Kenny and Eddie chat a bit. Kenny reveals he's from New Jersey, and just last week, he returned home to bury his father. Eddie goes silent for a moment, clearly moved. He and Nia quietly promise to get Kenny home safe.
I know, right?
Trying to depress me more.
You know.
Extraction gone wrong. Kenny reaches the pickup point in a wide-open field. A helicopter arrives, but just as Kenny's about to board, he's ambushed by more terrorists. He takes cover behind a tree as the chopper crew returns fire. One group of attackers fires another RPG, forcing the helicopter to leave. Eddie sends another missile strike, which wipes out most of the enemies. But not all. With missiles now depleted, he dispatches a fighter jet. Kenny coordinates a strike. And, in a massive explosion, clears out the southern side. Still, a few enemies remain. He asks the fighter jet to perform a machine gun sweep to create a diversion. The tactic works.
One is RTB.
Kenny escapes and heads toward a second extraction point farther away, up on a hill.
Why the helo is airborne?
His body lights.
The next morning, while crossing a river, Kenny gets caught in tree roots. As he struggles, Eddie warns him that 3 enemies are nearby. Sure enough, they open fire. Kenny returns fire and hits one, but runs out of bullets. He flees toward a waterfall, jumps, and hides below. Eventually, the two enemies leave, thinking he's gone. But later, they return and capture Kenny. Eddie and Nia lose contact. Good, sir.
Sharp as an elephant's ass.
Kenny is imprisoned in a hut. Then, out of nowhere, someone takes down the guards. It's Sugar. He's alive. He tells Kenny that Bishop is also alive but being held at Petrov's base, now under Hashimi's full control. Kenny agrees to help rescue him. They gather weapons and sneak back toward the compound. Along the way, Kenny uses an old bottle to send a signal to Eddie. He tells him Sugar is alive, and they're going back in to finish the mission.
Connect me to CJ Sawduff.
Kenny also asks Eddie to contact Special Ops and call in airstrikes. The plan: 3 bombs, one at 11 a.m., targeting the basement, another 15 minutes later for the cave, and a final, high-impact bomb on the compound. As Sugar and Kenny sneak in, they encounter more guards and get into a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Sugar gets injured. Just then, a grenade lands near them and explodes, knocking them unconscious. They wake up in prison, now reunited with Bishop.
How you doing, Bishop? You look like ass.
Kenny warns the guards about the incoming airstrike, but they ignore him. Sugar is dragged out and tragically taken out by Hashimi. Moments later, the first bomb drops, shaking the compound. Eddie is now at the store shopping when the second strike hits. Kenny is nearly drowned during a torture attempt, but survives thanks to a small pocket of air. He regains strength, finds the captured CIA agent, and frees him.
Jay Sock. Walk.
He also finds Hashimi, badly wounded from the bomb. Kenny finally takes him down. The third strike is scheduled in 6 minutes. Kenny tries calling the base using Hashimi's satellite phone, but no one answers. They're all distracted watching a basketball game. Kenny leaves a voicemail for Eddie. Just 2 minutes before detonation, Eddie hears the message and sprints to the control room, begging Captain Andrew to abort the strike. Literally, the third bomb is canceled.
The operator.
There he is. That's him. That's Playboy.
Resolution Kenny, Bishop, and the agent are rescued by helicopter and brought back to base. Eddie storms into Colonel Joshup's office and tells him off, revealing the call they ignored wasn't from his wife, but from a soldier risking everything. He smashes the TV in frustration, then leaves with Nia. The movie ends with Kenny safe, the mission complete, and Nia closing. And that's the full story of Land of Bad. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.